Howdy chaps, and welcome back to another fantastic episode. We are going to be, in this particular one, replacing this quarter panel. Because I'm going to say it, I'm going to make it turn into a bit of a positive game. I'm going to play it on the cards of, they said I did such a good job, I get to do it again. No, apparently the rules for body filler have changed since I was a tradesman. Believe it or not, I mean, still a tradesman. Since I was trained, the rules have changed. When I was trained at TAFE, the max depth was 6, and I did look into it, and it was. Even every tin of bog you look up, the data sheet says max thickness 6, but in the last 10 years, that has been halved to 3, and nobody's told you, basically, unless you, like, I don't even think anybody in the panel beating industry would even know that it's been halved. So I found out the hard way that it is in fact 3 now. If you look up the iCar website, it does say 3mm. But if I go through all my trade books and stuff, it says 6. So somewhere between then and now, it's actually been halved. So that's been an interesting thing, which is why I thought, you know, I was like, 3mm, I'm sure it was never 3mm. That is not much bog at all. That is like, that's like 3 Mickey whiskers or something. That's nothing. So all you can assume is in the crash industry, they're starting to really hammer in hard removing body filler from repairs and stuff. Except of course, considering in the crash industry nobody ever checks that stuff, like ever, and I've never seen an assessor come through after a car's done and check the depth of the paint, because I'm sure they'd ping quite a few if they did. But yeah, I've never seen it done. It's a totally new thing to me. Caught me right off guard, got me right in the core. So we are now going to be putting a quarter panel on this. So I get to cut that off because it's not good enough. And I could, they did, you know, I had 2 choices. Either you can dig all the body filler back out again, pull the quarter panel up a bit further, which, and then rebog and whatnot, and have photographs. But I'm pretty sure that quarter panel is not going to come up any further than it is, because I already tried. I stopped because the way it was damaged, it only comes up so far before there's no more up to come. And this particular car, all the body panels are steel body panels. They're all galvanized. So this one was absolutely a true pain in the proverbial to actually pin pull, because every time I did, it nearly burnt a hole straight through the steel. So these are notoriously, this particular model, are very hard to get right because of what they did to the steel. The models prior, easy peasy, but this particular one, no. So I decided that after the big hit that this took, and I mean it took a big hit if you watch my older videos, and I think I did a very good job to repair that quarter panel to the state that it is now. So I don't think it's going to be able to be reworked any better than that. So I decided to go and get a new quarter panel. That should be rocking up probably within the next half an hour. And I'm going to, the join is going to be through here, because the repair procedure say it's 10mm from the top corner of here, there, so it's going to be about there, and the other one is actually probably just below the join here between the body panel and the steel panel. And I've got a, this is a stupid thing about this particular car, or it only unlocks one door at a time, so I'm going to have to remove this door, because it's actually the easiest way to remove these steel panel covers. So doing these, you got to take that black plastic off first, and then you take the steel panel cover off, and then you can, what you can do is there's a bolt that goes through the center of the pin, and you undo it from the bottom, and I think you undo this one from the top, undo your check strap, disconnect your wiring down here, and the door will lift off the hinge and it will stay in its place. So it just locates in those and off it comes. A bit like the Falcon ones where it's a plastic clip which in my opinion are much easier to deal with because that's a bolt and they're never that easy to remove. So I've got to pull out the seat, the rear seat, this trim, gutter mold, roof mold, take the stick off the antenna because obviously I will eventually have to paint it, take the boot lid off, tail light out, rear bar off, tow bar off, boot hinge out, fuel flap off, wheel off, guard liner out. Just an insane amount of stuff to do just to change that quarter panel. And of course when I come to paint it, I'll have to paint the door jamb this time because it's going to be a joint here. So I'm thinking I'll probably lose the colour. I could probably lose it up here actually, because you'll only see that much of it when it's done. So I've got to probably blow in the colour and the clear and just have it blend through here, and the other one will be sort of down here, which is, personally, I looked at the repair procedures and thought the way they've made you do the cut is absolutely stupid because you're going to half see it. If you were allowed to do it, most other manufacturers make you do the join sort of there, which allows you on this particular car where you wouldn't even have to do, you wouldn't have to do half the work. But unfortunately this one's coming across and then goes up on a 45 and will probably cut through just there, so that's going to suck a little bit, and I will have to drill out the spot welds through here, take the catch off, and the catch will stay attached to the frame of the car. So there's going to be quite a lot of work. Which is going to be fun in the not fun kind of way. Yes, so remove the battery, remove the cover, remove the floor, all the trims, back panel area, the hinge off. So I'm going to have a fun afternoon trying to do this. Also, on a side note, not Commodore related, I did have a request by a loyal viewer, lovely chap. He needed one of these badly, and I was like, ooh, I might be able to help you. So I have started to make him one. So off to a flying start. I did that yesterday. Might do a bit more this afternoon and keep rolling with it, but he requested one, and unfortunately, as far as I could tell, these are still not available yet. I've been told they're coming. But they're not available yet. So only time will tell. But I'll just whittle him one up and then send it to him, because I'm that kind of a guy. So that's where we're at. I'm going to start stripping. And then we'll catch up when the quarter panel arrives, because that'll be pretty cool, because apparently it's not just the quarter panel, it's actually the whole side, one piece. So that'll be fun to try and carry. You know, honestly, I thought the box would be bigger. I love all these stickers on here. It says, warning, oversize. Really? Really oversized, you say? It's freaking huge. And if you're wondering, have I worked out how the hell I'm getting this out of this box? The answer is no. No, I haven't worked it out yet. You could just about replant a forest with how much cardboard came out of this. I don't really know how that goes, but I am but one man. I think I'm going to have to lay this box down and cut the box off the quarter panel and then lift up the quarter panel and put it on these, I say quarter panel, but it's actually considered to be the driver's side body assembly, or there's something like that. So, once I work out how to get this out of the box, I will show you said giant panel. Look at the size of the guy. I might be needing packaging material for a while. The dude rocked up from the Holden shop and he's like, I have a box for you. I said, I think it's that little one that's in the back of your tray. And it's the huge one that was across the top. Would you believe this whole shooting match was only, I think it was $935, and that is also including GST. So it was actually about $850 or something. So yeah, I'll get this out and I'll show you what I've purchased for this car. Well chaps, there she blows, the entire side of one Commodore. Interesting, I'll have to join it. A little filler neck through here, that'll be fun. But look at that, I won't have to worry about trying to get that style line straight. That'd be lovely. I sort of love getting new parts like this. So, that is a monster, isn't it? Luckily though, I don't need the whole thing. I only need to, I'm probably just going to rough it out, and I'll probably just, for now, just cut through here and sort of straight across, like there and here, because the factory join is going to be, well, not the factory join, the repair procedure, so the join is going to be sort of here-ish. They make you do them through use these as datum points, and the join will be through here. And the sucky one, which I don't think this is a good one that they chose, the next one's got to be through here, stupidly, horizontal, and then 45 through there. Whereas if it was me, I would have joined it through here, because all of this is covered up and you won't see it, whereas this join here goes right through an area where you will see it. So, although I suspect that maybe the reason it's up here is possibly there is some sort of foam dam or something that's in here that you'd have to play with, because sometimes there are. Hoping there's not one through here, but look at that. It's been rubbing on the cardboard a little bit, but you get that on big jobs. I don't want to have anybody complaining that there's filler in this, because there's no filler in this. If it gets pinged for something else, I'm going to be very angry. But look at that, perfect. Arrow straight, perfect. That's what I like. This style line was monumentally difficult to get right on the car, because it's pretty crisp. So that's what we're going to do. I still haven't stripped the car because this turned up, and then a mate turned up who took the old EJ roof, because he uses that in his resto shop for steel, because he likes using old school steel, whereas I just go buy sheet steel and just do it that way. Everybody's got their preferred method, and he likes using old stuff, so I was like, I've got an entire roof for you if you'd like. Yep, no worries. Yes, she's starting to look a little bit empty now. Surprisingly, the rear seat was way easier to remove than I ever thought imaginable. The rear base, literally, you just reef up on it, and it just pops out of those clips. 1, 2, and then you just undo 2 13mm nuts, lift up, slide the seat base up, you do the other side, 2 slide up, and then 2 bolts in the middle, and that bit comes out, and then there's a couple of clips, and that's all out. You then have to, before you did that though, no, after the seat base come out, you take that inner trim out, there's a little screw there, that pops off, and then this one slides out as well. I noticed there's a weird dent right here, and I'm wondering whether or not that has something to do with when this used to be a police car. Like, something was bolted in here and the bolt head poked through. It's really what it looks like, because I know from factory that's not really supposed to be there. So slowly but surely, so I had to take that side off to get the rubber off, to get that piece off, to get these scuff plates off. These doors are actually really easy to remove once you undo the bolt at, I think it was the top and then the bottom, and undo the check strap. Always take that off because you will forget it. You just pop out the rubber grommet, pull out the loom, press a clip, door's disconnected. Easy as pie. Couldn't be simpler. So I know there's a few clips under here, they'll be right under that, but I'm pretty sure you only have to take that trim off if you break the clips. But so this should lift up and slide that way, and then we got to do it there as well. But it means taking off more trim, the seal, lift up, slide off, and then we can take the screws out of here, the mud flap off the front, and then we can take the sill panel moulding off. So to actually take that sill panel cover off is actually quite a bit of work, which is why I was not thrilled when this became what was happening. But we got to do it because that's how I'm planning on doing this job. And yeah, once it's done, it'll be flash as Michael Jackson. It'll be lovely. And then of course we have to undo this moulding, which is just a screw at the front, and then you just pull it down, and you're guaranteed to break nearly every clip that goes across the top, so I've got to replace all of those. That just sits in there with a couple of clips. Generally they don't break if you're gentle. And then mud flap screws, bar, tow bar off, jack it up, take the wheel off, put it on a stand, and then proceed. And then boot lid and stuff like that. And I gotta get the parcel shelf cover out as well. So it's all happening. But I thought I'd do a quick update to show you how far I've got so far in about 10 minutes. It's not hard to do, there's just a lot of parts. And as I say, plastic fantastic, yes. Modern cars are full of plastic. However, older cars are full of plastic, but the plastic is usually on the metal. If you wanted to have that argument. So anyway, more work, and see if we can get that sill panel cover off in a second, eh? The power of movie magic, the car is now stripped, and I mean stripped. This is, aside from the rear window that's going to be coming out tomorrow, courtesy of somebody who can do them, because I'm not a windscreen guy. The windscreen, aside from that, the windscreen to come out, the rest is stripped. This is how much you need to strip one of these cars, or our car, to change the quarter panel, and I'm not even joking. You took your car to the crash shop, they put a quarter panel on, this is how stripped your car ends up being, if not slightly more. Yeah, so we get the fun job of, once this window's out, these spot welds through here are going to continue on this seam underneath there, so we get to drill those out around there, grind off all the seam sealer through here, around here, everything that I've done before, and I get to drill out all the welds down through there, and here, and through there, and here, and here, and hopefully that will come off. The things we do. The things we do. Well, I'm going to leave this video right here. We're going to catch you up on part 2 of this on the next one, but what I'll do is I'll make sure that I intermingle this job with videos of doing like Falcons and stuff, so that you people don't just turn your nose up at it and run away, run to the hills. But in a quick glance, that ended up being, so from here to here, that is all lovely and looking smashing. So we don't actually have that much rust left to do in this particular coupe. We've got a fair sizable chunk in there, which is going to be less than fun, but after that I've got to finish the boot channels and no, done this side, so finish the boot channels. Oh, I mean, look at that, that's not even rusty. We bare metaled this and just put etch on it. How long has it been since you see a coupe with no rust there? And it's actually pretty good through here. So, bit of rust in the boot channels, finish the parcel shelf, no roof rust. What I do have to do is effectively redo the guard patches that somebody put in, because they're only tacked. So I don't know if you can see this, but that's the last guy's attempt, and it's not good enough in my opinion. And then probably put another lower skin on, because that's a disaster too. So I have to basically redo the doors and the front guards. The bonnet doesn't need any rust, and then we can start on straightening the car up and work on getting it ready for paint. So it's not miles off being finished either. It wasn't actually that rusty at day one, so we're looking pretty good. Don't even have to do the back panel. How about that? Rare. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you on the next.